Hey you guys, so I am doing another magazine fashion piece, and I have to say that I really love the way this design came out. I am using Arkansas Times magazine in order to create something special. I wanted it to be a skirt, a dress, but I didn't have enough pieces. So instead I end up making a layered shirt. So as always, I am tearing out the pieces, balling them up and unballing them so that I can make sure that I have some pieces that are kind of fabric light, but obviously they're not going to be all the way fabric light. And then I am stacking them up so that I can get ready to use them for this piece. So when you finish balling up your paper and different things like that, one of the things that you're gonna have to do is figure out which side of the, first of all, figure out which side of the paper that you want. And then you would figure out if you want to use tape, if you want to use glue. I've used tape, I've used glue, and this one I'm using staples. I've used thread, and so before on different magazine designs. And so once you have them, one thing that I started doing was doubling it, because one piece of paper is not enough, and when you begin to put it on, sometimes it'll rip and tear. And I found that using two pieces or even three, if you really want to, then it works out just a little bit better. And then when you get those pieces, depending on which part that you're doing, you staple them together. So I'm just going to go around and I'm just going to staple my pieces together like that. Go around and you staple it like that, and then we're going to keep on going along so you can see exactly how I did it. And then you can do your own if you want to. And I'm going to show you the bottom of it too as well. So here you can find me going through the process of trying to decide which pieces I want to be the outward side, which pieces I want to be the inner part, so that I can take my staple and staple them together. Remember, I told you that it's best to do at least two pieces of paper together to kind of provide you with a little bit more thickness than what the paper alone has to offer. And you can see where I have stapled them together, and now I am just placing them together to let you see what it would look like when you decide to take the two front pieces and place them together, just like you would a piece of fabric, the right sides together, and then you staple them down together and you open it up, and that way you will get a nice little fold that I'm going to show you here in a little bit, with the paper, with the magazine, and it makes it look a little bit cleaner. If you can look and you can see, these are my outside pieces, and these are the pieces that's going to be shown. And then I'm flipping it back over where you can actually see the inside, the part that's going to be facing inside of your body. And as you're doing this, you want to make sure that your staples are straight. Make sure that you get them as straight line as possible. You may say, well, I can staple on the edge and go a little bit down like that, but it affects the bend of your paper. And so I know, like, when you're starting, sometimes it doesn't seem like it affects much, but it affects the bend of your paper. So you want to make sure that your staples are being stapled in as straight of a line as possible, because you don't want any curved or uneven pages. That way, when you flip it over, it'll be a nice and clean and crisp line. So this is how I begin my shirt. If you like to make pattern pieces, and I encourage you to make a pattern piece and put it on top of there, and then you can cut it out from that way. Here I am getting ready. I am making my bottom part to my jacket, and I am going to show you how to do the pleats. The first thing you want to do is you want to fold in one of the sides, not all the way in, just a little bit, how big you want your pleat. And you can use measurements. I'm just using my eyes for this because it's paper and it was fun. And then the next, you want to fold in about the same amount on the other side. And when you flip it over, you'll notice that there is a nice pleat in the front part of the paper skirt. And yes, I am putting pleats in this so I can have a little bit of thickness, not flat paper when I get ready to actually staple it down to the bigger part of the dress. And then, so that I don't have to keep picking up my stapler, I decided to take some pins and stick it through the paper so that when I'm finished with all of them, if I want to go back before I actually stapled it to make sure everything is to my measurements and to my liking, then I had the pins in there rather than already having them stapled down, which would have been a lot more messier and harder to do. And so I'm going through each double stapled magazine piece paper, and I am creating pleats in them, and I am pinning them down with my pins. And then when I finish pinning it all down, I am going to staple it all together and measure just to make sure that it goes all the way around my shirt, and I will let you know what the ending piece looks like when I do it at the end. So the first part of my magazine with Arkansas Times is finished, and you can kind of see I'm just basically using sewing techniques that you would use. This is going to be the front. It's easier to open up with, and I doubled it like I did on the rest of them. How I usually do is a double one. Trying to make sure you guys can see. And then at the back, you can kind of see too. I'm going to show you how I did this too. So I used staples this time, and so basically I used 2 pieces of paper like I did with the AY magazine, and then on the inside of here, I folded inwardly. You can kind of see a little bit there, so that it looks like this on the outside. And so I made a waistband, and I also made the shirt part. And then so that I can easily open and close it and get in and out, I put holes on the side of here, and I threaded with some twine. I'm going to set it all the way through with twine once we get through. And then I left this part open. I left that part open so that I'll be able to stick something through there, like some yarn or something, and I'll be able to tie it easier when I get ready to finish it and put it on. So this is the top part, the front part, and now I'm going to get ready and make the back. And you can see where I have my holes that I cut for my sleeve, my holes for my arms. So let's go on this journey. So you guys, I ended up not using any yarn for the actual waistband part because I realized that the top tie in the front was enough, and this is what my design came out to look like. You guys, I was not expecting this to turn out as well as it did, and I am so happy with the design. And I layered it twice, so you can see as I'm bouncing up and down that it's done in 2 layers. The first one is it covers the whole part, and then the second one you can kind of tell that it's a little bit kind of like an asymmetrical design. What's amazing to me about this whole entire process is the fact that I was kind of figuring out as I went along, but I end up loving the outfit, and I do not have on any another undershirt underneath this one, so it was able to cover up my whole body like it was supposed to, and I am very pleased with the results. Follow me for more content, and I hope and pray that you guys have a great day, and remember to always be blessed and keep on creating.